German engineering, 6 cylinders, and an obsession with building engines that just won't quit. Today, we're counting down the 25 most reliable German 6-cylinder engines of all time, ranked by real-world mileage. No engine is perfect and may have some issues surrounding the engine, but with proper maintenance, these power plants will go the distance and beyond. 25. Wow, this thing is loud and fast. The Porsche M9774 powered the 2011 911 GT3 RS4, a special car with a 4-liter flat-6 engine that revs all the way to 8,500 RPMs. It gives you 500 horsepower and 460 newton-meters of torque, and has been known to last up to 241,000 kilometers. For a race-ready engine, that's really impressive. It's like a world-class athlete who can also work a full-time job. People call it the Mezger Slayer because it's based on Porsche's famous racing engines. It's not going to hit 1,000,000 kilometers, but it was made to be driven hard and fast, and it does that job amazingly well. 24. This engine is basically a race car heart in a street car body. The BMW M88 was the power behind the famous BMW M1 supercar, and later showed up in the E24 M635 CSI and E28 M5. This 3.5-liter inline-6 has lots of racing parts and makes 277 horsepower with 330 newton-meters of torque. The cool thing is, its owners have driven these engines for 241,000 kilometers without major problems. We call it the Bavarian Overachiever. It's definitely not your everyday commuter engine, but it proves BMW knew how to build performance engines even back in the 70s. When they put it in race cars, it made up to 900 horsepower. Talk about overbuilt. 23. Sometimes the bad boys turn out good. The Porsche 9605 had a rough start with bearing problems, but once fixed, it became super reliable. Found in the 996 Carrera and Carrera 4, this 3.6-liter flat-6 makes 320 horsepower and 370 newton-meters of torque. After the early problems were fixed, many have passed 241,000 kilometers without issues. We call it the troublemaker turned champ. It taught owners to be patient and maybe how to take out bank loans for early repairs. But properly maintained, these engines are now lasting longer than anyone expected. Just goes to show that you can't believe everything you read online. Many of these engines are still going strong in the cars that true Porsche fans love. 22. New kid on the block, but already making the old-timers nervous. The B58 turbo engine powers everything from the BMW 340i to the Toyota Supra and Z4 M40i. This 3-liter inline-6 makes 335 to 382 horsepower and 500 to 520 newton-meters of torque while feeling smooth as silk. What's amazing is that even though it's only been around for a few years, some have already reached 322,000 kilometers. We nicknamed it the Turbo Therapist. It gives you power when you need it and reliability when you don't. BMW finally figured out how to make turbo engines that don't blow up. The strong block design and quality parts make this engine one that future collectors will definitely want. 21. Who said hybrids can't be cool? The Mercedes M256 is a 3-liter inline-6 with electric boost found in fancy cars like the E-Class, S-Class, and GLE. It makes a healthy 362 horsepower and 500 newton-meters of torque, and some have already hit the 322,000 kilometer mark. We call it the silent assassin. Most people think adding electric parts makes engines less reliable, but this one proves that wrong. I'm still waiting for someone to film a 1,000,000-mile road trip in an S-Class with this engine. The best part is it got rid of belt-driven parts that can break, replacing them with electric ones. It shows that even new tech can be built to last if the engineers know what they're doing. 20. Built as a replacement for its problematic predecessor, the N54, the BMW N55 engine is a 3-liter inline-6 twin-screw turbocharged engine that produces from 300 horsepower to 445 horsepower in Alpina models with 450 to 465 newton-meters of torque. It is used in 1, 3, 4, and 5 series, X3, X4, X5, X6, and Z4. While more reliable than its predecessor, the N55 needs care and common things to look after, including classic oil filter housing and valve cover oil leaks. Besides that, Regular maintenance should keep it going strong, and some owners have hit 385,000 kilometers on the clock with this beast. Hey, before we continue with our countdown, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button if you liked it so far. We got 19 more amazing engines to share with you, and you are not going to want to miss any of these coming up. These German masterpieces definitely deserve your attention. 19. You can hear this engine coming from a mile away. The BMW S54, powered by the E46 M3, Z3M, and Z4M. This naturally aspirated 3.2-liter inline-six beast makes 333 horsepower and 355 newton-meters of torque and loves to rev high. Despite jokes about its rod bearings, many have hit 322,000 kilometers while still being used on track days. We call it the Gymnast because it's flexible yet powerful. This engine sounds like nothing else on the road, like angry bees in a tin can. While the S54 is generally considered a reliable engine, it demands careful maintenance, particularly concerning the cooling system and regular oil changes to ensure long-term reliability and performance. 18. This engine is like a friend who's always causing trouble but somehow never gets caught. The polarizing Audi 2.7T was the heart of the B5S4 and C5A6, a twin-turbo V6 monster that makes 250 to 265 horsepower and 350 to 400 newton-meters of torque. Though it has had its fair share of problems, with proper care, some owners have pushed these engines to 322,000 kilometers. We call it the spaghetti monster because there are so many hoses and lines under the hood. When it works right, it's amazing. When it doesn't, you'll learn some new swear words. This engine later became the base for the even more powerful RS4, proving that Audi could build tough turbo engines when they put their minds to it. 17. Don't let its quiet nature fool you. This engine packs a serious punch. The 3-liter TFSI supercharged V6 found in the B8, S4, A6, and Q5 makes 333 horsepower and 440 newton-meters of torque. The best part, many have sailed past 322,000 kilometers with care. We call it the Stealth Bomber. Quiet but deadly effective. It's the unsung hero of Audi's lineup. The turbocharger gives instant power without the lag you get with turbos. Audi was smart to use timing chains instead of belts, which saved owners from a major repair bill. Take care of the water pump, thermostat, and catalytic converters, and it'll take care of you. 16. If engines had personalities, this one would wear a suit and a tie. The Mercedes M276 V6 came in the E350 and ML350. This 3.5-liter engine makes 302 horsepower and 370 newton-meters of torque and regularly goes 322,000 kilometers without complaining. We call it the Butler. Quiet, reliable, and always there when you need it. It's not the most exciting engine, but it'll outlast your phone, your laptop, and probably your next relationship too. Mercedes got the direct injection system just right, avoiding the carbon buildup issues that plagued other brands. This engine perfectly represents what Mercedes does best: smooth, drama-free power that keeps your car working year after year. 15. Remember when engines were simple? This one takes us back to those days. Before turbos took over, BMW gave us the N52, a 2.5 to 3-liter inline-six used in the E90 325i, 330i, and E60 525i, 530i. Power ranges from 174 to 268 horsepower and 230 to 320 newton-meters of torque. These are still running strong past 322,000 kilometers. We call it the Peaceful Warrior. No turbo drama, just smooth power. The lightweight block uses magnesium and aluminum to save weight while staying strong. Its valve system works without a traditional throttle, making it more efficient. This might be the last great non-turbo BMW engine we ever see, which makes it extra special to real BMW fans. 14. Meet the engine nobody talks about, but everybody should. The 2.8-liter V6 in the Audi A4 B6 and A6 C5 makes a modest 190 horsepower and 280 newton-meters of torque. It won't win races, but many have quietly reached 402,000 kilometers. We call it the unbreakable understudy, never the star, but always ready to perform. While other engines got all the attention, this one kept working. The 5-valve per cylinder design was ahead of its time, helping it breathe better than most engines of that era. When owners changed the timing belt on schedule, these engines often outlast the cars they were in. Sometimes the quiet, reliable ones deserve more credit than the flashy performers. 13. This engine's what happens when cylinders think outside the box. The 12-valve VR6 found in the Corrado, Golf MK3, and Passat B4 is truly strange. This 2.8 to 2.9 liter engine's like a V6 and inline 6 had a baby. It makes 174 to 190 horsepower and 245 newton meters of torque, and many have passed 402,000 kilometers. We call it the Compact Chaos engine because it's weird but wonderful. The cylinders are arranged at just 15 degrees from each other, not the usual 60 or 90 degrees. This let Volkswagen fit 6 cylinders in small engine bays. The sound it makes is unforgettable, like nothing else on the road. These engines have outlived most of the cars they came in, often being swapped into other VWs by fans. 12. They literally don't make them like this anymore. The M50 was BMW's workhorse in the 90s. Found in the E36 325i and E34 525i, this 2.0 to 2.5 liter inline 6 makes 148 to 189 horsepower and up to 245 newton meters of torque. These engines laugh at 402,000 kilometers like it's nothing. We call it the brick house because it was built so strongly. These engines set the standard for BMW reliability for decades. The iron block was nearly indestructible, while the aluminum head kept it from being too heavy. BMW added their first Vanos variable valve timing to later versions, giving better power and efficiency. This engine is the reason BMW became famous for smooth inline 6s that last forever. 11. Sometimes the best engines come from brands nobody expects. Yes, Opel. GM's German division made an amazing inline 6. The CIH 2.5 liter powered the Commodore and Record with 150 to 130 horsepower and 203 newton meters of torque. Not fast, but many hit 402,000 kilometers with zero fuss. We call it the German tractor motor because it's simple and unstoppable. The camshaft and head design was unique, not quite overhead cam, not quite pushrod. These were favorite engines for European taxi drivers who put millions of kilometers on them collectively. Sometimes the most reliable engines aren't the flashy ones from sports car brands, but the workhorses that silently do their job day after day. We've seen engines 25 through 11 in our countdown of the most reliable German 6-cylinder engines ever made. From racetrack-ready Porsches to everyday heroes from BMW, Mercedes, and even Opel, we've covered a lot of ground. Before we continue on our top 10, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the countdown. Now, let's see what makes it into the elite top 10 most reliable German 6-cylinder engines of all time. 10. Old school cool never dies. The M20 straight-six engines found in the E30 325i and E28 525e came in 2.0 to 2.7 liter sizes with 129 to 170 horsepower and up to 300 newton meters of torque. These engines regularly hit 483,000 kilometers without breaking a sweat. We call it the E30's Iron Heart. Just change the timing belt and schedule and it'll basically run forever. The secret? Overbuilt parts and simple design. Some versions were made for efficiency, called ETA, while others focused more on performance, but they all shared incredible durability. Maybe the best proof of how good these engines are is how many are still running today, often on their second or third owner, still purring along like they're brand new. 9. Built like a tank and twice as reliable. The M103 powered the W124 300E and W126 300SC with 160 to 190 horsepower and up to 260 newton meters from its 2.6 to 3.0 liter inline 6 design. For these engines, 483,000 kilometers is just the beginning. We call it the German tank engine. It simply refuses to die. Mercedes built this engine with 7 main bearings when 5 would have been enough. That's over-engineering at its finest. The single overhead cam design keeps things simple while providing decent power. These engines became the top choice for taxi drivers across Europe, often running day and night for years without major repairs. When people say they don't build them like they used to, this is what they mean. 8. Sometimes the sequel is better than the original. The M104 evolved from the M103. Powering the W124 E320 and W140 S320 with 217 to 231 horsepower and 265 to 315 newton meters from its 3.0 to 3.2 liter inline 6. Like its predecessor, 483,000 kilometers is completely normal. We call it the Executive Express. It's smooth, powerful, and seemingly immortal. Mercedes added a second camshaft and 4 valves per cylinder to improve breathing but kept the bulletproof bottom end from the M103. The result was more power without sacrificing reliability. People discovered they could add turbochargers to these engines without upgrading internal parts. That's how overbuilt they were. It's Mercedes engineering at its absolute best. 7. The grandfather of BMW power is still showing the kids how it's done. The M30, found in the E28 535i and E24 635 CSI, is BMW's original big inline-six. With 150 to 218 horsepower and up to 420 Nm of torque, it regularly hits 483,000 kilometers. We call it the Bavarian V8 impersonator because it has so much torque. The long-stroke design gives effortless power while giant bearings and a large oil system keep everything running smoothly. These engines often outlive the cars they're in. You'll find them transplanted into all kinds of BMW projects. Even after hundreds of thousands of kilometers, they maintain good oil pressure and compression. That's the mark of truly excellent engineering. 6. Sometimes being in the middle is the perfect place to be. The M54 powered everything from the E46 330i to the E39 530i with 170 to 231 horsepower and 210 to 300 Nm of torque. These straight-six engines commonly pass 483,000 kilometers with regular care. We call it the Goldilocks motor. Not too complex, not too simple, just right. BMW hit the perfect balance of this one. The fully electronic throttle and dual Vanos valve timing system gave modern performance without sacrificing reliability. Its aluminum blocks saved weight while iron cylinder liners ensured durability. Many consider this the high point of BMW's naturally aspirated six-cylinder engines before the turbos took over. It combined modern technology with old-school toughness. 5. Diesels aren't sexy, but they'll still be running when everything else has died. The OM648 straight-six powered the E320 CDI with 201 horsepower and a massive 500 Nm of torque. Owners regularly see 483,000 plus kilometers with basic maintenance. We call it the oil burner overlord. No spark plugs to change, no ignition problems, just turn the key and go. Mercedes used modern common rail injection for better efficiency while keeping the bomb-proof design their diesels were famous for. The 24-valve head design improved power and efficiency compared to older diesels. These engines were so tough that many were shipped to North America after exceeding legal service life in Europe, only to rack up thousands more kilometers in their second life. 4. This engine laughs at your heavy-duty truck. The OM642 3-liter V6 diesel powered everything from the M320 CDI to the E350 with up to 265 horsepower and 620 Nm of torque. It easily passes 483,000 kilometers while hauling heavy loads. We call it the torque tornado. It's simply unstoppable. Mercedes broke tradition by using an aluminum block instead of iron, saving weight without sacrificing strength. The variable geometry turbo eliminated lag while providing amazing pulling power. Despite some early emission systems problems, the core engine is nearly indestructible. This engine proved diesel power could be smooth and quiet while maintaining the legendary longevity Mercedes diesels are known for. 3. The king of diesel BMWs has entered the chat. The M57 straight-six powered the 330d, 530d, and X5 3.0d with 163 to 286 horsepower and up to 580 Nm of torque. In the real world, these engines regularly exceed 805,000 kilometers. We call it the diesel doctor because it cures any doubts about engine longevity. The iron block provided incredible strength while the aluminum head kept weight reasonable. Earlier versions used mechanical injection pumps while later ones got common rail systems, but both proved extremely durable. These engines became particularly popular for long-distance driving in Europe, while their combination of effortless torque and amazing reliability made them perfect for highway cruising. Many consider this the best diesel engine BMW ever made. 2. This isn't just an engine, it's a legend that refuses to die. The OM606 powered that W210 E300 and W140 S300 with up to 174 horsepower and 330 Nm of torque in both naturally aspirated and turbocharged versions. These routinely pass 805,000 kilometers and keep going. We call it the diesel god. It sounds like an old-school sewing machine, but it'll outlive your house. The mechanical injection system eliminated complex electronics that could fail. The inline-six design reduced vibration and stress on internal parts. These engines became famous worldwide, especially in developing countries where repair simplicity and parts availability were crucial. The turbocharged versions are highly sought after for their combination of reasonable power and seemingly endless life. Before we reveal our top pick, let's quickly look back at what we've seen so far. We start with high-performance Porsche and BMW engines that surprisingly reached 241,000 kilometers despite being designed for the track. We saw BMW's modern turbos like the N54 and B58, proving forced induction can be reliable. We discovered gems like Audi's supercharged 3.0 TFSI and the quirky Volkswagen VR6. As we got into the top 10, diesel engines started to dominate with their incredible longevity. The Mercedes OM606 and BMW's M57 showed that diesel isn't just about torque, it's about building engines that seem to run forever. But there's one six-cylinder engine that stands above all the others when it comes to pure, unstoppable reliability. Number 1. If engines could be immortal, this would be the one. The legendary Mercedes OM352 powered everything from big trucks to Unimogs and even Tata commercial vehicles in India. This massive 5.7-liter inline-six diesel made between 64 and 170 horsepower with torque reaching 505 Nm. We call it the diesel deity because it simply will not die, regularly passing 805,000 kilometers and continuing on. This inline-six engine doesn't care about fancy features or clean emissions, it just keeps running decade after decade. The simple indirect injection system made repairs easy while the massive cast iron block was nearly indestructible. These engines are so tough that many from the 60s are still working daily in commercial use around the world. Some need nothing more than oil changes and occasional injector cleaning, even after 50-plus years of hard work. So there you have it. 25 German six-cylinder engines that earn their stripes through longevity, torque, and pure engineering magic. Which one's your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked the video.